Hello there! Have you ever wondered how to prepare your factory for the power-hungry late game in Satisfactory? Today we are going to unlock the secrets to producing a staggering 40 uranium fuel rods per minute. Enough power to light up even the biggest machines in Satisfactory. So grab your golden nuts and let's dive into the ultimate power play that will take your factory to the next level. So why do I attempt to produce so many nuclear fuel rods per minute? Well, let's find out together, because if we quickly build a particle accelerator here, Ada would have it done differently every time, and if we look in that machine, select the recipe, only that machine needs about 750 megawatts of power, and if you summer sloop them, that power goes exponentially higher, and I know for a fact that we need a lot of these cool machines in the future for my playthrough. So do you think I'm able to fuel 80 of these nuclear power plants fully overclocked to the brim? Let's find out together. And for that, I have prepared some blueprints. Who would have guessed? You can already see some placed here, but let me quickly show you what I have come up with. So I have 5 manufacturer blueprints, and if we quickly take a look at my planning tool, we only have to do this last 3 processing steps to get me nuclear power. So with these manufacturers, I produce infused uranium cells, about 1.3k, a little bit more, then insulated crystal oscillators, 40 a minute, and uranium fuel units, the alternative recipe to get me uranium fuel rods, and that is 40 a minute. So we can power up 80 nuclear power plants fully overclocked. So I carefully crafted 5 manufacturer blueprints, and the way that's going to work is I load up the last one we need in our whole processing step, and that is for the uranium fuel units, you could have guessed. So they only spit out 0.6 a minute, and we need 40 a minute, so there's a lot of resources going into this recipe, and I have carefully labeled these blueprints. So this one is going to be, I have to place 17 blueprints. In total 67 machines, we're going to make 68 out of it, just to overproduce a little bit. So 17 blueprints of that blueprint is the last step. Then if we load another blueprint, the encased uranium cells, it looks like exactly the same, because the design is exactly the same, but just for another processing step, and that's going to be 17 blueprints again, 68 machines again. I have to feed it with 3 belts of uranium, 3 belts of sulfur, a lot of belts of quickwire, 7.5 something I think, then some quartz and limestone. And the absolute coolest thing I did with that blueprint is, if we quickly take a look at the recipe, we need uranium and sulfur that's gathered straight from the map. Then we need the quickwire. The quickwire comes from over there. I have enough of that. And what we also going to need is silica, and the way I did it, I didn't just place some assemblers for the silica in somewhere. I incorporated the silica production into the blueprint itself with this assembler here. So I just need to feed it raw quartz and limestone to make me silica that goes straight into the distribution system of the blueprint. So quartz and limestone is going to be fed there. Then the output of these blueprints are these mergers over there. Then we need to input 4 ingredients, and these are this 4 splitters, splitting once here and once here. But snusi, you have 4 manufacturers. Yes, I did something cool, ladies and gentlemen. If we remove these walkways, I implemented the new vertical splitters into the system. So how that's going to work is, if we take a normal conveyor lift, right? then take a splitter. We can now place them onto the belt lifts like a saw. And what I did, I just placed them at the exact height of the manufacturers, so they line up with the input of the manufacturers really nice, and connected a belt in between there. I can remove one if you like that. Ooh. And that, and as you can see here, there's tiny little teeny belts that go in from these splitters over here. And then I did some kind of a design to place them down, incorporated the design with the final blueprint. Don't worry about these materials overlapping there a bit. That's not going to be visible in the end. And the little thing there sticks out a conveyor lift. That looks kind of funny, if you ask me. So these are my blueprints for this whole process. And the next blueprint I want to show you is I have an empty one. So if I ever going to need to distribute some belts or pipes or whatever, I'm going to place this blueprint. So I have a lot of space to merge and split some conveyor belts, for example. Or if we have to avoid some kind of machineries or something I already placed. Next blueprint is refinery blueprint. For the whole processing step, I need some quartz crystals that coming out of here with the pure quartz crystal recipe, feeding quartz and water to get me the quartz crystals. And the quartz crystals go straight into the crystal oscillator blueprint that looks exactly the same. Even labeled my inputs there, as you can see. Oop. So we take a look at the recipe, quartz crystals, the rubber, and the AI limiters I have produced. No, that's not true. The rubber comes in for free, and the AI limiters I do exactly the same as with the limestone, as with the silica before. I take the quick wire and the plastic straight into a assembler to make AI limiters, and the system works exactly the same as the other one, feeding it directly into the blueprint here. Then I incorporated some red lights, and if we place a bunch of these blueprints together in a row, these lights should look really, really cool in the end. Now, how I'm going to place these. I already marked out the area I think I want to start. Oh, I have some blueprints for some extension pillars to go on the outside, but I show you in a second. Now, if we grab a blueprint here, just for example, the encased uranium cell, I go to blueprint mode. I line up the in and outputs, in which direction I can turn it and whatnot. Then place it. Then these are really nice connecting to that other blueprint that's just behind there. No gaps in between. The only thing I have to do is connect my power lines. For example, something like that, from one blueprint to the other, and we are set to go. And I'm not exactly sure how many blueprints I can fit in a row down this extremely long path there, and you know there is a stone and a crash site in the way. Let's see how that turns out exactly. We're going to find out. So I'm going to start and placing these blueprints down, and then catch you there. Okay, it is a bit of a bigger feat than I have anticipated, so one step at a time. And anyways, a good advice for life, take one step at a time. What I have done is I have done the crystal oscillators for my whole setup. So manufacturer producing crystal oscillators. These are 5 blueprints here in a row. Nicely displayed like that. Then on the other side here I started with some empty ones I showed you before. And the refinery ones. That makes me the quartz crystals, I believe. Yes, that's true. Then we can walk over here. Did a little bit of a walkway and then we come into an empty room. And this empty room is very important. Not only it's my first elevator I built in Satisfactory 1.1. Woohoo! It's a teeny tiny one, 8 meters. This is going to be my main distribution room for all the belts and pipes I'm going to need. You can see I already shuffled in the Caterium wire belts. Some water needed for the pure... What was it? Pure quartz crystal recipe. And the rubber is on that belt here. That's going to go in the crystal oscillator machines. So the crystal oscillator machines are these ones going at full force. And the belt goes nicely up there, around the wall, over there. I did test it with a awesome thing to get the best number. Just load it in the save, so the number here says 0. That's no worries. Oh yeah, by the way, last episode I made huge mistakes with blueprints. This time, I tested all of them. So don't you worry about that. You have to, well, trust me, bro, I guess. So, main distribution room like here. What I'm going to do next is build all the blueprints for the infused uranium cells. Test these except for the uranium, but the other ones, materials I can test. And I have input signs where what have to go. So I think I got you there. So, in case uranium cells blueprint is done, and look at me, I can dab it. Okay, well, let me show you. Hey, what's that drone port doing up here, Mr. Snusi? Well, maybe we find out someday. And inputs are here. So, we go over there. There are my blueprints. 17 blueprints all done for the encased uranium cells. These bad boys here. And as anticipated, it should look very nice into the dark side. We quickly turn around. Yes, some lights are missing here. Some stuff is missing here. I'm gonna fix that later on, but I have it done. And what I also have done is, if we can find a way to go downstairs, it shouldn't really be nighttime, but nothing I can do about that right now. I have all the inputs down. And that was a hell of a journey, because these quick wire belts, I needed to route 7 of these bad boys in this little tiny amount of space you can see here. And wow. To get the numbers correct and stuff, I had to label which output machine, which I have leftovers, and they merge onto another line. Here is a merger as well. There's coming out 240 of them and so on. And later down the road, I have to do it again. So if we need to input 7 belts just for one item into such a tiny amount of space, there comes out 700, merge them, and these 700 goes into the next 4 blueprints, I guess. At least that's what I can remember. And then doing the inputs for the rock quartz and the limestone, and the outputs go on that belt over there. haven't connected these. I'm going to do that in the next step. So that's these processing steps hacks my brain. But next step, 17 blueprints of uranium fuel units manufacturers. So catch you there. I love how quickly I can build that stuff. Wow! With the power of editing, of course. And just to put it into perspective, let me quickly go over here. And let's make a kind of that guy. Look at me, I'm so tiny. Oh, wait. Let's do Pioneer and that love heart, because I love that love heart. And if we fly out, look how tiny we are in comparison to that build. Wow, just wow. Hello, little boy. Yoo-hoo. All happy and friendly down there. Yeah, that's what I built. Last couple hours. Now, how does it look inside here? Not much has changed, to be honest. Well, a little bit of something has changed. I did bring in the electromagnetic control rods from the last video, and the rotors produced also from the last video. They come in here and go straight into there in combination with the crystal oscillators. They go into here. Only stuff missing is the encased uranium cells. That's coming from these manufacturers. And if we go all the way down that floor there, and turn, for example, the belt around and come back on the belt here with the encased uranium cells, we should have all inputs for the uranium fuel units. So, kinda crazy if you ask me. Kinda crazy. So, that are these inputs. Let me quickly go over to the other side. Here we are. On the other side, as you can see, I labeled my outputs here. So the encased uranium cells, 480 of them, go onto this belt. Connect to that belt that goes somewhere in behind there into the machines. Then here I have exactly the same 480 belt, curves around, goes straight into the first set of machines, and 3 inputs because I need 3 belts. 400 line goes curving around. I love curved belts. And goes in somewhere behind there into the next machine. And oh yeah, I told you a rock was in the way. Well, not so much. I had to remove the drop pod, but the rock can totally stay there. No worries at all. Now, output wise, I already connected the output to a awesome sink over here. And the next step would be to get uranium in, but that's going to be a bigger task than we can accomplish in this video. So what I'm going to do is we have to decorate a little bit more. If we go quickly outside here, the walls are all bleak and empty. I have to put some signs all over the place, make something on this side as well. And yes, I know on the top here it looks kinda boring, but that's gonna be changed in the future as well. Don't you worry about that. So let me get on the final touches for that build and I catch you there. So, do you focus on aesthetics or efficiency in your Satisfactory builds? Comment aesthetics or efficiency and tell us why. So I did make good use of my golden nut and decorated some stuff and put in more lights into here, and I think it looks better. It's a bit brighter, that's what I like to see, but there's always room for improvement. So this build is finished. Only thing left is the uranium, but uranium is gathered all over the whole map, so I have to travel the whole map and I have to find out how I'm going to bring the uranium here to my power plant. Maybe trains, maybe something else, but we are going to figure something really cool out, so stay tuned for that. So these recipes really hacked my brains out, especially how many items we need to have to get in for this project alone. So I was wondering, what's the biggest challenge you have faced in Satisfactory so far? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you want to know how I was able to even come to this point to produce so many fuel rods, watch the video right here. And thank you so much for watching, and the closer is overrated.